Hi everybody, sticky today, isn't it? Very sticky. It's Russ and Miami's 11. I hope you're safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you're made aware of any time there's new content on. We will keep you going through the off season with all of our videos. As I said, we have videos going out daily, but sometimes 2-3 times a day. So make sure you hit that bell icon, because everyone we talk to, every guest, every ex-player or ex-manager, whatever, celebrity, whatever you like, is priceless, and it's a personal story and a personal journey. So make sure you hit on that bell. Today's guest, no exception, another one from over this across the pond. I love talking to the American-based Hammers. It's Brad. He's from New Orleans. It's about 95 out there, and he's probably sweating buckets like we are. How you doing, Bradley? How you doing, man?
Very well this morning. Yeah. Keep trying to keep cool inside the house. Had a little bit of that post-mortem, and the season's over, so it's kind of that down feeling. What do I look for now? What do I get into now? So it's good to hook up with you today.
Yeah, that's the idea. We've always been... when we started during that sort of weird lockdown period, when there was no... obviously the season was suspended, and that's how we sort of started, and it all sort of just generated from there. People were coming to the channel to get their fix. And just carried on throughout restart, and now we'll carry on. We're zooming through to almost 150 guests in 8 weeks now, 8-9 weeks. So it's been pretty full on, but everyone's been brilliant. Every guest has been brilliant, and we was it 2,500 subs now we've got on YouTube. It's absolutely mental, and it's good because Bradley got the note about the last year's home kit, which is good. Although clearly he's a bit thinner than me, because he's managed to squeeze into a youth one, unlike me. One day, Russ. I was hoping lockdown would give me this lockdown body, but it's done the adverse effect.
Although I have to worry sometimes. Some people mistake me for a balbuena. So when I'm out on the street, from a distance, I have that balbuena. So nowhere in the full kit for me, at least.
But would you? And then if you do mistake you for Balbrenner, why would he be in a full West Ham kit? Is it literally he's such a shit game that they've sort of farmed him off to New Orleans down the street. Yeah, that's funny. All ready for Carnival. Yeah, but how are you, Bradley? How's things going for you at the moment? Obviously, weird world we live in at the moment.
Yeah, it's very strange here in America, as y'all have seen on the television. Yeah. I mean, we're dealing with similar things as you, COVID, Corona, but also the protests, and especially in New Orleans, there's a big racial imbalance, some tensions, and hurricane season is now. So one weekend it hit, there was a hurricane, protest in the streets, and which got dangerous, and COVID, so it was like a triple threat, and I was still trying to get people to work, so it was tough.
Oh, that's mental. But the flip side is West Ham managed to stay up, so there we go. Yeah. The icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And obviously looking forward to and it's weird because obviously we had no football for about 100 days, right. Or sorry, soccer. We're calling it football on this channel, sorry. And so we had no football for like 100 days, and then we had this sort of rapid fire 3 games a day, and now it's like stopped again.
All right.
And it's what do we do? It's weird, and now we've got 6 weeks without football again.
Yeah. I actually got into the Bundesliga a little bit. I tried to, at least, as some sort of medicament, but it's almost like if you are on a drug, going to something weaker. Not that I'm a drug taker, but trying to substitute.
I know what you mean.
The sherry for the whiskey you're used to.
It's the methadone for the for the heroin. Apparently so. And obviously that particularly, I mean, I always ask people who obviously are watching the football whether they like the crowd noise on and off, but obviously from NBC and stuff, it's always on, isn't it? You've always got the fake crowd noise.
We actually have on our one app, it's like a Sports Gold app, which we pay extra. You can switch between either one. Yeah. So depends on the mood. I switch back and forth. Yeah, depending on the mood. If I really feel like faking it,
Yeah, I was talking to a guy yesterday who does the fake crowd. Well, he works for Sky in the UK, and he was in the meeting where they spoke about this sort of fake noise and what they do. Because I just thought it was a bloke in a van, pressing a button and like a sound screen. But no, it's all like AI. It's all done with like We have like the Opta index, all like the possessions, all the stats, and based on the possession, if one team's 60% in the last 10 minutes, the home crowd
triggers.
is
no kidding.
Yeah, it's mental, but it couldn't work out an own goal.
Yeah,
that's what it couldn't work out, and so sometimes you get that.
Broke the machine. Yeah,
exactly. Well, no, we got there. We broke the machine. We broke the AI. I thought it was funny though when we played Norwich, and particularly in the UK, half time we were 3-0 up already, and the AI booed the Norwich team off the pitch. That's when you know you're crap.
Yeah.
When the robots are booing you off. Absolutely brilliant. It was mental, but it is what it is, and by the sounds of it, at least the first few games of next season will be behind closed doors, and maybe, God willing, based on nothing happening, fans will start coming in. So at least we won't have to have so much fake noise in there. But they did the job, and typically West Ham, got into a really good vein of form just as the season finishes, and then that's it. They'll go on holiday for 6 weeks, so it's a bit unusual. But
that's what hopeful though. We finally started to see some substance in our formation, and like they actually had cohesion. I think that's what we've got all year, just having identity. One of the things is, and what other teams, you're not West Ham anymore. They're saying that about our club and our stadium, but also you can watch us play. We don't have an identity. And I think that's really what we've lacked is identity, and finally started seeing, okay, you guys actually know how to move the ball together. So a little hopeful.
There was definitely more cohesion in the team towards the end of the season, and it was just typical that we hit this vein of form, and that's it. Season's over, lads. And you go, oh, all right. Yeah. And then I'm full of blind optimism, as most West Ham fans are in the off season. Okay, and that's it. Job done. We're going to be mid-table next season, good cup run, come on, and then after about 3 games, I'll be back to reality, and I know it's going to happen just because it's the West Ham way. And
Moyes out will be 3 games.
And come December, there'll be Moyes out campaigns and stuff. But I like David Moyes. I'm not afraid to say it. I think he's a good manager. I think he's the right person we need. I think Pellegrini was a step too far for what we needed, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, but this isn't about the current team. This is about the journey. This is about nostalgia and stuff like that. That's the idea. There's all Lee and Tim and the Hammers Network and Adam. They do all that clever stuff. I do nostalgia. That's my niche. It's quite funny because obviously I used to go to school with Adam Frankel as well from just random. He's just so random. He's like miles away in Texas, So what we do, everyone we get on, so also we had Lee, we've had Tim, we've had Adam, and various others. Same as everyone. The first question I always ask him is why West Ham. So why is West Ham your club, Bradley? Because there's not a Cockney twang in your voice. So unlike John Black, who's in Vegas, who's a West Ham boy who went over there, with you, I don't think you were born in the Bow Bells.
No sir. And I didn't even for many years even like football. Actually, it was there was no. I don't have any nostalgia in terms of like my dad or my grandfather. Somebody took me to a match, and that's the club. It was actually a conscious choice, which is difficult to say as a West Ham fan. It was a real conscious choice. I looked at the other teams. I read about each and every one of them and did like little tests online, which is bullshit. But eventually, I looked at West Ham, and something just kept ringing in my ears. I didn't want a top 6 team. I didn't want a top 6 club. I wanted to scrap it out.
Tick.
Yeah, but one that was big enough that they could always have a chance, always have a shot, and that they were willing to try to punch, the Goliaths in the nose. Like that's what I wanted. Like a team that would just swing for everything it had. I love that they were a working class family club. The crossed hammers. I'm a carpenter myself, or now I'm a carpenter, but when I saw that, I was like, this is working class. This is lifeblood. This is family. This is people who are trying to escape from their normal reality of working to the bone and just going out there and watching their team try to succeed and soar like, bubbles. So I was to that. And then, ironically enough, I actually, and this is how new of a fan I am, but I actually started liking them after the Burnley match where the pitch invaders ran on the field. I said I read an article with big James Collins, Ginger Pele, and I
Yeah.
saw him there and Mark Noble, and the tussle was like a big, picture. And he was talking about how gutted they were to have this happen, and how that both of them
Yeah.
home with West Ham as a boyhood club, and especially Mark Noble. And I said, if these guys are willing to deal with these tough times, and it pains them to see their clubs going through this, I was like, that's who I want to follow. I want to believe in a player who is there for his life. Who that's his colors. I don't want any fancy Dan's coming in and coming out for a pound note. I wanted these are all English expressions I learned.
I do appreciate them. Yeah.
But I saw Mark Noble and James Collins. I said, these are the kind of players I want to back. This is the kind of team I want to support. Let's go. I'll say that Pat says, "Let's go West Ham." Maybe South Americans, but
you was going so well, Bradley, until then. Yeah.
But no. So that's when I followed them, and then they won that Southampton match. Arne Arnautovic had 2, and I think Mario might have had another one as well. And that's when I sunk, and it was a battle. It was a relegation battle too. So I said, all right, this is what I'm in for. Like, let's do this.
You poor bugger.
Yeah, hasn't let me down though. I once going from pitch invasion and 18th place, like I can only look up. That's all I can do.
Oh dear. Oh well, at least that pitch invasion is something to answer for. So that was one thing. But that's brilliant. Well, that's a new one. That's a new story. I haven't heard that one before, but that's great. And I love the fact that I love the fact you did it's like a BuzzFeed quiz. Which EPL team are you? Yeah, and you sort of do you like this? Yeah, are you like this?
Kebab, yeah, like random bullshit. I kept disregarding those answers, and it was just West Ham. Yeah. And it just really, like you said, it doesn't. You don't pick it; it picks you, because all these teams, I just pushed them aside, and I just this is what I want to support. And then I got obsessed somehow. Like it just took me over still as well.
Well, it's like and definitely you get that with American sports fans as well, isn't it? Once you get a team, that's it. You do your stats, and it's all about. And it's funny because even like Tim, when Tim Mellicombe from the American Hammers, he's the same. He was a late bloomer to West Ham, and then just became obsessed with them and wanted this and that and that's how. Do you know? It always surprises me how many fans, particularly of West Ham, are over in the States. It's mental, absolutely mental, all over. Not even like pockets. Literally every state has like a little group of West Ham fans, and it's awesome. It's so nice, and you just look at the guys, as Lee and Tim, what they've done with the American Hammers Network, and it's just brilliant. And it's nice because it's not just American Hammers that are on there. You've got the guys from the UK. There's Charlie Walsh's and Rebecca and stuff like that. That they're on there as well. And I was quite naive to it. Never really watched any of it until I started doing this channel, and I watch it all the time. I find it brilliant. I love it.
Huge community, like the community here that I found, and even that I've realized I had to create. Because over here in New Orleans, we only have one pub that plays football. Nobody else was concerned with it. But that means every Premier League club supporter group goes to that. So at first, I was the only West Ham guy there. There's a big Arsenal group, big this, and I'm the only one cheering and trying to sing, But so I created a Facebook page and some logos and all that, and then I started trying to. Oh, here's another guy. Oh, that drunk guy in the corner, he's West Ham as well.
Well, he is now, because he's drunk.
Right. He's going to be West Ham. And then I found out there's a lot of people, and after creating this page, people coming from both the UK, but also other states, they say, hey, I want to watch this match. I'm in town for New Orleans, like after I do Bourbon Street. Where can I watch the next morning at 6 a.m. or whatever time it's on? I said, oh, come out, come out to me. We'll have a good time. So I've made good friends from the UK and from all around the States.
Oh, that's awesome.
Coming to have some sort of home place to share this passion and burden that we do as West Ham fans.
That's amazing. I love the story. I love things like that. You're right. It's this sort of family community. As you said, the guy, same as me. There's people. To be honest, if it wasn't for West Ham, I wouldn't be talking to you. And just this little badge means we just have this huge community of people, and even more so, as you said, you started the Nolahammers and all that stuff, and the badges, and you just create this little community. And I love the fact that people are in New Orleans, and they're literally on Bourbon Street, and they'll say, "Hey, Brad, meet up for a beer," and that's brilliant. Oh, it's amazing.
And what I found is the passion, like for US, for trying. I'm so passionate about it, but it's hard to get other people because, like I said, it's not something that's big here in the US.
Yeah.
And I actually have grown up as kind of like a evangelical Christian in a way. But I found that I've converted more people to West Ham than I have to the faith. You know, like there's all these like plastic Man U fans over in the US like to go, oh, who's the team? I don't know any other names. I just hear Man United. So that's my team. And I'm like, why do you like Man United? Here, let's watch a match. And then I've had 4 or 5 people that have been like, yeah, West Ham is my team now. I like them. You know, they root for this plucky underdog, which I love to be a part of. So it's funny to see.
Well, it's like the everyone talks about the American dream and stuff like that. It's a bit like that, isn't it? You said like working class. They're just trying to grapple and trying to beat the man and do it themselves. And I can see that. I love the fact that you've converted more people to West Ham than you have to Christianity. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
That should be your like your motto under a badge. It's absolutely amazing. But I mean, and that's the thing, and that's what comes through in these interviews. It's just talking to different people and your experiences, and you having to almost be a one-man band really, and creating a little community and a little sub community where people want to join it when they come over. It's the same, it's like I hope to, well, hopefully when everything sorts itself out. I do a lot of work in the States anyway, so but like a lot of stuff in the East Coast and stuff particularly, and now it'd be like. Going back, I can turn to people who I've met on the channel, but obviously I know through the Hammers Network and meet up for a beer and stuff like that. And
you're always welcome here. Yeah.
Oh man, don't tell me that. Do you know? I was gutted because I was meant to do a conference once a couple of years ago in New Orleans, and I couldn't do it for some reason. And I was gutted. It's the one place in the States that I really want to go to. So it's on the list. When everything sorts itself out, it's on the list. It's on the list. But at least I know I've got a place to get a beer anyway. Exactly. So as I said, part of the episode, part of the series is talking about your journey, and you have Bradley, one of the most unique journeys I've spoken about, which is fantastic. But the other half is about this Hammers 11, and what's really nice because you're a relatively newer fan is I imagine there'll be more of the current. Or the latest, or people in the recent years who will be in the 11, which is nice because that's what it's about. It's about appreciating the now and the present and the past as well. So what we do, 1 to 11. The only caveat is you have to be alive to have seen them play. They're probably for you. It's probably you have to, since you started supporting them, basically since Burnley a couple of seasons ago. I think that's a fair enough thing. And we try and keep it to a 4-4-2. Just because it's easy. Just because it's easy. Just left back, right back, 2 centre backs in the same midfield, and that's it, man. And that's it. And I think it'd be a real different perspective for you as a fresher pair of eyes. We've all got this sort of like these sort of half empty eyes. We know the glass is half empty. We know particularly the newest crop. So it's nice to talk to someone who's still full of optimism for West Ham, beaten it out of them more than anything. So for the 11, let's start at the back. So let's start in goal. I could probably guess who your goalkeeper's going to be, unless you want to throw Roberto in there.
It'd be Fabianski. Although I have to say, my favorite match of the season was Chelsea 1-0, and Martin in goal was really exciting. But for winning, I would say probably Fabianski. Right back. I'm excited about Ben Johnson.
Good shout. I just got to see. That's the first time he's come on, so I'm going to type him in. Ben Johnson. No, you're right. I think he's going to be good. He is the last couple of games. He's been, you probably know more. The last few years we haven't been blessed with great right backs. Zabaleta was he was towards the end of his career.
I would say Zabaleta the 17-18 year, he was one of our biggest workhorses, and he was just all over the place. But he just went through these dips of form. Like, you would see his professionalism. You'd see him. I mean, every game he came away bloody. Like if he wasn't dirty or bloody, just like Snodgrass was stained, it was Zabaleta.
Yeah.
But I want to look for the hopeful future. So let's say Johnson there. Yeah.
No, I think it's good. And also, I think you can see why everything went a bit sour with sort of Ngakia, because clearly Ben Johnson's a better player than Ngakia.
Yeah.
Just is. And, by the sounds of it, Ngakia is signing for Watford. So that's good, isn't it? Well done. That's a good idea, mate, isn't it, idiot? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, I just...
Yeah, no, I couldn't
understand. Because it would have been nice, because obviously Johnson played left-back the last game of the season.
Left back, yeah.
And it'd been nice, Johnson left back and Ngakia right back. That is some really youthful. Yeah, exactly. Okay, put Ben Johnson. Let's go left back. Who you have on the other side then? Who should we have?
Well, I mean, it's got to be Cresswell because that's really the only option.
It's him or Masuaku, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And he hasn't played much. Bless him. Cresswell. To be honest, even before you joined the scene, Cresswell had been there for a long time, and arguably when we signed him from Ipswich, he was really exciting. Yeah. He was fast, he was dynamic. But then same with everyone, and you'll see this for many years to come. Bradley, being a West Ham fan, is injuries always make a huge difference to us.
Yeah.
It just seems more than any other club. We get players who we either sign them injured, or they're just continually injured, and it's a shame because I think Cresswell's still got quite a bit to give. He's been around the club for a long time, but again, we haven't been blessed with left backs really since Julian Dix in the mid-90s, to be honest. People like Paul Konchesky maybe, but
I still like Cresswell. I mean, he puts everything on the pitch.
He
works his butt off. And he has got a good cross, great free kick, good curve on the ball. It's just the pace, and sometimes people dig him out on defending. Like he's just better positionally than Masuaku, but still not quite where we want him to be, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the summer.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling we might get a left back in, but who knows? Sorry, I'm chewing on a bit of ice. It's Terry unprofessional. Right, let's go centre backs. Who do we have in your centre half, centre back positions?
Let's just go with Diop and Ogbonna. Yeah, let's go with Diop and Ogbonna. I mean, that's really it. I really love the pairing of Balbuena and Diop. That first seemed like magic, and Ogbonna not so much, but no, this year he's just kicked off.
Yeah, it's weird, and because I know you're his body double, but I really liked Balbuena when he first joined. Him and Diop had this. I just thought he was this. I thought Balbuena was like this really solid centre back. He was didn't give exactly. I mean, you don't become Corinthians club captain by being shit and lightweight, and he particularly for work at Corinthians, and he was from Paraguay, so it's it's not even like he was in his native country as well. So. But yeah, just something happened, didn't it? Something happened, and I don't know what it was. I mean, he wasn't the fastest player in the pitch, but I just thought he was really solid. And when he wasn't in the team last season, you could tell it. Yeah. Now it's the other way around. When Ogbonna's not in the team, you can tell. But I just think he's a good player, man.
You know what I'm going to do? I just realized instead of Diop, I want to put James Collins back
there. Yeah, no worries. We can put we'll put Ogbonna and no problem. Yeah, put a Ginger Pele. God bless him. Yeah, he's in. Don't worry. Diop is out. Ginger Pele is in.
You won't believe that was my first kit as well. It was the first after I followed him. I was like, I need to have a jersey, so I got his name on it. It was the season he left. Like, no testimonial. I was like, I was sobbing that final day when he came out for that 3-minute. And I was like, this jersey, I've only literally got him to see in this jersey for 3 minutes while he played that. So this jersey was 3 minutes worth of work. But all the things I've watched in the past and that 3 minutes that I saw. Great guy.
Brilliant. Yeah. He's a cool guy as well, and that's brilliant. Though it's very often the case where people get players on the back of their shirts and then they leave as well. But it's not like the NFL or whatever where come the end of the season, like literally everyone's gone and like a few, and then the draft picks and a few. It's very. Collins was one of those guys I thought we'd keep for another year just to get testimony. It didn't work out. Fair enough, he's doing loads of commentary stuff and he's very good at that, and he's a great guy as well. So and obviously Ogbonna was runner-up Hammer of the Year this year. So
Yeah.
I think he's had a great year this year. Bonner has, I just think he's been so solid, and it says something when you've got whoever sort of in terms of the three people you've got. Declan Rice, a defensive midfielder, really. You've got a Bonner, a defender, and someone who's only just turned up the last 6 games has got 3rd place. You know what I mean? It's like Antonio before restart would not have been 3rd. Right. It just shows you how poorly we were for the rest of the seasons for that to happen. But we'll put Bonner in and we'll put Collins in. Right, let's go into midfield then, Brad. Let's go left midfield. Who should we have on the left? Who are you going to put in?
You know what? This might be controversial, but I still have that Felipe feeling. So I'm gonna put Felipe Anderson as my left mid because I still think he has something in his locker.
There's something there.
Yeah, I mean he scored the most goals last season, I believe. I think he had 10, I believe. I don't know if anyone beat that, which is kind of sad, but. I still think he has it. I think he just has to get his confidence back. I don't know if that's going to happen, but he was so exciting the year.
He was, Man.
Cool, with the little glove while he was on Arsenal. You remember that? He was adjusting his glove while blasting all these Arsenal defenders. I was like, oh, fantastic! Nutmegged everybody. He was like the king of nutmegs that year too.
Yeah, and then go back and do it again. That's the trouble, wasn't it? He'd always try to. I know what you mean. There's still you don't become a crap player overnight. Do you know what I mean? And for someone like Anderson, he's all about confidence, and he's the type of great player to have if you were top 10 and you were flying and he could just play. But when you needed like someone to pull their socks up and relegation dogfight, he just hasn't got that bit of his game, which is not a criticism of him. Right. That's not what he does. He's not a digging in tackles, and that's not him. He's a flair player, which is great if you've got the time to be a flair player. But same, that's why someone like Fornals has done quite well since restart, because he's got that. He can, have a go, and that's been quite obvious. And the fact that Anderson's only been on for like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It doesn't bode well for next season, but who knows? He might come back and have a fantastic pre-season and be full of confidence. And
I don't think we can find the money we can for him to sell him, so I think he'll be back. Yeah.
No. I don't think you get half of what we pay, to be honest, at the moment. Not just because of the situation we're in with the pandemic, but just he hasn't shown. He hasn't shown that he hasn't looked like a £40 million player, or 38 million, whatever it was, but. It's a shame because, and again, that was part of the experiment, I think, which didn't work with Pellegrini. He went to Germany and bought Haller. He went to, Italy and bought Anderson. He went and bought these sort of marquee signings where arguably our best 2 signings in the last few years has been Souček and Bowen. And you can make a profit on them as well.
Right.
You could sell Souček tomorrow and make twice what you paid for. And that's, I think, going forward, that are going to be the strategy of West Ham by the looks of who we're being named with. But right, Anderson. Let's go the other wing. Let's go on the right wing. Who are we going to right midfield?
Let's put. Oh, geez, who do I want there? I guess it has to be Bowen. Yeah, I mean, I like Bowen would be. I mean, just gets it automatically from skill. I do love Snodgrass. Even though he's not the best, but man, I love that guy's hard work, and I love his passion and his personality. I'll probably say Bowen for a winning team. Yeah,
a winning team, but I mean, the whole idea of this, Brad, is it's go with your heart. So if you want to put Snodgrass in, put Snodgrass in.
Put Snodgrass in.
That's what I love. You just you can change your mind, man. That's the thing. It's not about the best players, because. And going, in my fan career, if I said my best team, some of them might be considered the best players, but actually a lot of them are guys who just give their all. And we've really missed Snodgrass since the restart.
Oh, yeah.
We've really missed him, like his energy. Although Bowen's filled in with his deliveries, which have just been amazing, but he just has this energy about him, Snodgrass. And it's just lovely. It's infectious, and I've really missed him. And there was a chance he might have been back for the Villa game, but he just didn't just wasn't right. But hopefully he'll be back next season because I think you need that.
If he'd have kept up form and not even gotten injured, he could have been a contender for MVP because he had.
I agree.
5 assists, maybe 4 goals, and that there was a point in the season when he was what was carrying us. Like the 3-game run, he was carrying us. So he would have been up there because of that passion. But then he just disappeared and
got injured again.
Like this, actually, I didn't get a chance to watch it. Apparently, he has a channel like this that he does interviews with people. So.
Yeah, he does. He has a podcast.
Yeah.
He tends to get loads of Scottish. So I think he had like Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, and people like that. Yeah, he gets all the Scottish guys on. Him and Chris Boyd. It's quite fun. But you're right. I mean, there was one point, I believe, quite early on in the season where he was the informed player of the league.
Right.
Snodgrass was, like in terms of goals and assists and general, points per game in terms of how much points. And I think he brings a calming presence because he's just this sort of fiery Scot, and it just makes a massive difference. Right, let's go into the middle. Who are we going to have in the middle? Who's going to be in your central midfield?
I'm definitely a Mark Noble. I'm still on the Mark Noble train.
Bandwag, yeah.
Such love for him, and he always picks us up when we're down. Even if he's out for 2 or 3 games, in form. That 3rd game, he comes in and gets us a win. I got to meet him in person already, which was just. I actually, and this goes to my second pick. I actually almost snubbed Declan Rice for Noble, which like my mate Baz, Baz Cox, he took me to meet Declan. I was having Declan signing his training jacket, which he was giving to me, and I was just in awe. But then I saw Noble, and I dropped the training jacket and went over to shake Mark Noble's hand because I thought, hey, I may never get to meet this guy again, like Mark Noble. And I went over because he was just sitting there with a plate of food, like a little basket he was taking home, and I just told him he was a great leader. Got a picture with him, and then I went back to Declan, and I was like, oh no, he's such an asshole.
Declan would have found it funny though. I think he would have found it quite funny because he loves Mark Noble as much as everyone else does, and I think he just realised I think Declan's learned so much from Mark as a captain and as a player, and I think we're reaping the rewards at the moment because of that. And I hope next season I hope he's still there. B, I hope his team captain Declan is. Obviously, Mark will be club captain, and Declan will be sort of the club the team captain on the pitch because Mark's not going to be playing as many games as he did this year. But I mean, Dec's just a dude, isn't he? And he hammer of the year. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do, and it's funny that I tell you, fucking Baz gets everywhere, doesn't he? It's like I love him. He's we're very good friends now because of his channel, and he's great, and fair play to him for hooking you up with the boys as well.
I went to my first away match. I got a ticket, but then he got me one that was right next to him, pulled me near him, and boy, that was the Watford match. Watford away. It was like the opening. Could have been the opening game.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I had a classic Mark Noble penalty. Haller did the.
That's good. Yeah, the bicycle gear.
Antonio. And then when he took me back, I shook, Ogbonna's hand, shook Antonio's hand, got a picture with Felipe, got a picture with, who was the Carlos Sanchez? I was kind of like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take a picture.
Carlos turns up with his own pen. Yeah. No, you're right, Carlos. Yeah.
That was I've been to 4 games now, I think, and going to that away day, boy, that was something else. Like
different. It's different, and an away day is the proper fans go to the away day. You know what I mean? And it reminds me. An away day reminds me. So I've been to a few MLS games, and those guys are nutters. Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time on the East Coast and a lot of time in Elizabeth, in New Jersey. So I saw the Red Bulls quite a bit, and they're nutters. They are nutters, like the ultras, and they don't stop. And there's the fire on the goalposts and things like that. And it just reminded me a bit like an away day trip to Watford or Burnley or something like that. And it's a different experience, totally different experience from. And I think we played. I think one day, one game I went to, they played Atlanta, and Atlanta brought a shitload of fans.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that's not like us going to Watford.
No, it's going to Spain.
That's a bit of a flight over, isn't it? And it's like, it was a Sunday 2:30 kickoff as well. So I was like, major props to them, man. Major props. And it's weird because obviously, particularly when you like, I know the basketball or the baseball, there are a section of away fans, but it's not like a football game where there's, you get a few, but they're mainly sort of people, I reckon, who live in the area who are from Philadelphia or from, but no, yeah, I'm a big fan of American sport. I love it, man. Although baseball just does me nothing.
Right now.
It does me nothing. It's like, I remember going, I was told Jack Collison actually when I interviewed Jack, because obviously he's in Atlanta, and I remember watching the Braves in Atlanta, and it was about about 40 degrees, and I was like, Jesus, how long? And it kept on going and going and going, and I was just dripping, absolutely dripping, and there wasn't a winner, so it went to like 12, 13 innings. I'm like, oh my God, just call it a draw. No, we can't call it a draw. And then they end up losing anyway, and it's like, what was the point of that? It's like,
that's why they let us bring alcohol into the stands for American sports.
Yeah, you need it. You need it. And that's the great thing about watching the MLS, because like I sat there because at the Red Bull they had this bar where I was literally leaning on the bar having a drink watching the game, and I was like, this is brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. And it cost me like, I don't know, $5 or $6 to get a ticket as well, or StubHub, and it was big fan. Anyway, we digress, as we always do on this channel, as everyone knows. Right, okay, so we put Noble and Deck, They're going to go into the middle. Hammer of the year, Declan Rice, well deserved, I thought. He's just been brilliant this season. I think he's just been brilliant, and I love the partnership of him and Souček. I just think they have it just works. And then marking that 10, or if you need less grit and you want more skill, you could obviously put in Lanzini, or it just seems to work. And then let's go up front. Who's going to be our strikers?
All right, so I have Antonio.
Yes.
Love Antonio. He's fantastic. I would have considered him for right back as well had I not forgotten that he played right back as well.
Plays everywhere.
Yeah, but no, his work rate, his ability to beat people on the ball, and the fact I love his song. I love going to and chanting Antonio. Like, the first time I heard that, the way it did, it's just like, ooh, Antonio, so deep, just like Antonio. I just love that. So yeah, I think he's just he's our weapon right now. It's like
he is, yeah. He just seems to be again, it's a very similar thing to some of our other players. I'm always worried with Antonio. He's like one injury away from buggering it all up again, because he does it every season. He's been there. He'll have a really good run, get injured, out for 2 months, really good run. Restart came at the right time for him, because I think it gave him a chance to recover, and he's just been like this bulldozer. He literally bought that Man United game. Poor Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is not like a light bloke at all. He's quite bulky, and he was bulldozing him and Lindelof over, and I was like, this is ridiculous, but I just hope, again, I hope he keeps the bit between his teeth,
right? And he's classic West Ham as well, because it's not like he's super skilled or has such interesting qualities. He's just a rough and tumble guy who puts it all out there and gets and nicks a point, and that's where, if he can just not sky it to Rosie, we've got something in him, and I was so surprised with that last penalty. I was like, Noble could have gotten his 50th goal and tied with the Canio. And I was like, what do you have in? Why is Antonio holding the ball? Like, he hits it up, out the stand every time. But he's actually been decent finishing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Although he could have put that shot away right at the beginning of the Villa game and relegated Aston Villa, because I'd have quite liked that. There's too many claret and blue teams in the league. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I just wouldn't mind Burnley and Villa going out and then just having sort of like the monopoly on claret and blueness. But what I think is great about Antonio is he's unpredictable. You know, the defenders don't know what he does. I think partly because he doesn't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And that's scary, you know, when he doesn't know this. And he's just like a muscle, isn't he? He's like a Adama Traore, just like this huge muscle running at you. And I've seen fullbacks wince at him coming towards them. You see, like, you know, he's just going to just run over him. And I love it. Right, and who's Antonio going to part? Who's the final piece of this Bradley 11? This is what we want to know.
It's going to be very controversial, but I'd pick Arnautovic.
Yes, Arnie.
He was the first goal I saw scored, you know, with West Ham, and his ability to burst, you know, into his speed, able to beat defenders, his there's the arrogance, confidence, you know, mix, but he was never not confident. He was never not playing because his confidence was low. And just watching him beat people that first season when we stayed up from relegation was just amazing. So, although I think he was a jackass for what he did to the club, and you know, I'll call him a snake, I still think watching him up there was just exciting. You know, thrilling.
Yeah. Oh, he was brilliant. You know, there was no.
Yeah.
I mean, when we signed him, you know, he was languishing, playing on the right with Slaven Bilic. Moyes came in and just told him to stay up front, and transformed a bit like Antonio. You know, Antonio was like under Bilic as well, and Pellegrini was, as you said, right back, right wing, and again Moyes just in the last 6 games have gone right, well 9 games. You go up front, you just run the line, and he's done the same thing, and he's done it twice now, and he's kept us up twice as well. And Arnie was great. You know, I was gutted he went, but you get those types of players. You get those sort of mercurial. Yeah. You know, they'll throw their toys out the pram and want to leave. You know, we've had it before with Payet and people like that, and you know that's why I fancy our chances of Rice staying. Yeah. Now I've said it, he'll probably leave tomorrow because before the video goes up. But you know, hindsight's a great thing. But you know what I mean? If Chelsea came in with, I don't know, 30 million and Batshuayi, and we go, no. Right. Rice isn't going to go on protest and strike until because he knows his worth, and he knows what his worth is to West Ham. So, but yeah, I mean, Arnie was a great player. There's no two ways about it, you know. And I love the way he just had this really weird run. He's sort of like he had like the top half of he's like a swan. The top half of his body didn't move, and his legs just did and he was like sticked his arse out and. Just not. Could be a nasty player, but he was our nasty player, and that's what West Ham like. They like those types of players. But and that's it. That's the 11, man. Brad, I told you we'll be 45 minutes. We're 2.5 minutes gone, so almost there. Listen, man, it's been absolutely brilliant. I always find it really, really, really cool talking to people who aren't from around these parts and just embrace West Ham because it's so warming to my heart, and it is to a lot of the fans around here. You know, I moan about having to get, you know, a bus because the trains are down, or you know, and you guys, you know, you get just to get to the ground would be incredible for you. You've done it you've seen 4 live games at West Ham, which is awesome. And hopefully, when everything sorts out, you get to see a few more. And let us know when you come up, man, because we'll meet up for a beer. And if I'm over there, I'll let you know because it'll be great to sit down and chat. It'd be great, man. Thank you so much for your time, and obviously thank you to everyone for watching as well. Again, very humbled with all the support for the channel. Like, share, subscribe, and obviously. Follow Bradley on Nolahammers on the Twitter, on Facebook and stuff. And until next time, from me and Brad, take care, everyone. Come on, you Irons, and see everyone very, very soon. See you, everybody. Bye bye.